"Especially you," she said, looking directly at me. I stepped forward. Adam stood silently behind me. She smirked. "If you're here to thank me for helping your husband, you're welcome. I believe in supporting hardworking people." Her tone was arrogant, as if she expected me to be grateful for corrupting his desperation. I placed the envelope containing the same cash Adam had accepted on her desk. Her eyes narrowed. "What is this?" she asked. "It's what you think you bought," I said calmly. "But today, I'm returning it. Not because we are no longer in need, but because we choose to suffer with integrity rather than sleep with disgrace." Her expression shifted. She leaned forward. "Are you sure you want to do this? Life is easier when you stand beside power, not against it." I looked straight into her eyes and replied, "If that power demands silence in exchange for dignity, then it is not power. We are done paying that price." Her fingers tightened around her coffee cup. "Do you think one act of righteousness erases what already happened?" She questioned sharply. "No," I said. "It does not erase it, but it ends it, and that is where healing begins." She stood up, walked around the desk, and faced Adam. "You walk out of this room, you walk away from every opportunity. You'll be finished, you'll be back to poverty." Adam finally spoke, his voice shaky but firm. "We'd rather sleep on the floor with peace than in a mansion full of shame." She stared at us for a moment. I could see frustration in her eyes, not because we were leaving, but because she couldn't control the situation anymore. She flicked her hand toward the door. "Get out," she said coldly, before leaving. I turned to her and said, "One day, people will know the real price of your success. It won't be measured in money, but in the lives you broke." Without another word, we walked out. Outside the building, Adam collapsed on the stairs, crying, but this time, not from shame, from relief. He held my hand tightly and whispered, "Thank you for standing where I had fallen." I looked at him and simply said, "Now the real struggle begins. But this time, we fight together." That moment was not victory. It was the beginning of rebuilding what had been shattered. It was the first step toward forgiveness. To forget what happened, but to free ourselves from being chained to it. And for the first time in months, when Adam looked at me, I saw a spark of the man I once married. A man who could walk with dignity again. After leaving Mrs. Harlan's office that day, our life did not suddenly become easy. In fact, the days that followed were some of the hardest we had ever experienced. Adam immediately resigned from his position and cut off all contact with her. We returned home and sat in silence, both understanding that although one painful chapter had closed, a more challenging journey was ahead. He was jobless. I still had limited income from sewing, and our bills were waiting like shadows at the doorstep. But something important had changed. Adam was no longer carrying the weight of shame in silence. That night, he slept for the first time without waking up in panic. When he opened his eyes the next morning, he looked exhausted, but somehow lighter. He whispered, "I may not know how to build a better life yet, but now I can try without feeling trapped." We began to restructure our life from the ground up. Adam started working as a taxi driver, taking long shifts again, but this time with no hidden expectations. He also began helping at a local grocery shop during late evenings for extra income. I increased my hours at the sewing shop and took individual stitching projects from neighbors. The income was minimal, but working honestly gave us a quiet pride we hadn't felt in a long time. We faced arguments too. Some nights I struggled with anger and hurt. I couldn't pretend everything was normal. During one of those evenings, Adam said softly, "I don't expect instant forgiveness. I only ask for a chance to rebuild what I broke." His words reminded me of the man I chose to marry. Someone who made a terrible mistake, but had the courage to confront it and correct it. We also started attending therapy together once a week at a community center. The sessions helped us talk about our fears, our guilt, and the cracks in our relationship. Through those conversations, I learned that forgiveness is not a favor you give. It's a path you walk when you're willing to heal. 3 months later, with small savings and support from a kind neighbor, we rented a rundown corner shop. Together, we transformed it into a simple car rental and therapeutic massage service center. Adam decided to use his driving experience professionally, while also offering massage therapy, but only with registered certification and full transparency. He vowed never again to let desperation push him into darkness. Business was slow at first, but honest work attracts respect. People from the community began to notice our dedication. Some even encouraged us, saying they admired how we rebuilt ourselves. Our trust in each other wasn't fully restored yet, but every day it grew a little stronger. We may still live with limited means, but now each meal, each small profit, and each moment of peace carries more value than any money earned through compromise. And in that quiet progress, we began to rediscover not just our relationship, but ourselves. Today, when I look back at everything that happened, I realize that our story is not just about betrayal or poverty. It is about choices, courage, and dignity. Adam and I survived because we refused to let desperation destroy the core of who we are. The money he once accepted and the nights he spent under her control are behind us, but the lessons remain. Adam now walks beside me with pride, not shame. He works honestly, earns honestly, and sleeps peacefully. I watch him and see the man I married, the man who loves deeply, but now understands the value of self-respect. We don't live in luxury, but our home is full of warmth, laughter, and the quiet strength of two people who chose dignity over despair. Mrs. Harland. Rumors of investigations against her company spread months later. She may still have wealth, but it cannot erase the lives she affected. Power without empathy leaves scars no amount of money can heal. For us, life is simple now. Each day is a step forward. Each small earning, each honest gesture is a victory. And every night, we sleep knowing that we chose integrity over shame. I share our story not to shame anyone, but to show the truth, love, sacrifice, and desperation can collide in ways you never expect. Poverty may push people to unimaginable choices, but dignity is priceless. And even when broken, it can be rebuilt if courage and honesty guide your path. We rebuilt our lives not with wealth, but with the quiet strength of two hearts that refuse to be bought, sold, or destroyed.